We should make this like a drinking game. Every time I say a cuss word, you have to drink. If you're an adult, every time I say a bad word, take a shot and you're gonna be so fucked up by the end of this. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to our channel. We're going to do a story time today, and it's pretty crazy. Josh is here to confirm a few things and make sure that I'm not lying, because it was insane. And it's basically my story to tell, but we're in quarantine. I just wanted to tell it. I've been wanting to say it for a while, but I haven't had time. And now I have all this time on my hands. I figured there's no better time than now. We got a little bit of wine for us to drink. So we're gonna be sipping on this. Just sit back, relax. It might be a little bit long. I can talk a lot, so just relax with us. We're just gonna have a good night in and tell a crazy story. So before I get started, I want to give you guys a little bit of background on what was going on with me, because that's kind of what makes the whole story crazy. So I was a single mom. I was renting a room for $400, I believe. Did I ever tell you how much I paid for rent?
You never told me.
I believe it was $400 for one room, and a bunch of single moms lived there. So it was a girl named Amelia and a girl named Sochi, and they both had kids. When I started living there, I wasn't working. I was just going to school at Paul Mitchell, and then after that I got a job at a daycare, and then after that I got a job at a baseball field, and then I had like a bunch of like little random side gig jobs. But yeah, I wasn't making much money. And when I first moved in, the only money that I had was child support from Bethany's dad. That was $610 a month. So my rent was $500, because at the end of the month I only had like $100 left. And I was friends with this girl. We're gonna call her Jennifer, because her mom named her Jennifer. I hate when you get into a story, like when you watch Storytime videos, like, we're gonna call her blah, blah, blah. Like, no, we're calling her her name because she did this, and that's her name. And if she wants to come start something or wants to sue me or whatever, go ahead. I'm telling a truthful story about you. Do whatever you damn please. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Cheers. Cheers. I don't care. God, I have good ideas, huh?
Always.
Every time Josh lies, take a shot. I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt. Okay. So anyways, her name's Jennifer. She is my age. We went to high school together. And she is still living at home at her parents' house. She's never moved out. Well, I think like for a little bit of time she lived with a guy, but like she's never paid bills. She's never been responsible for any of that. And she was working at Ross. Everyone knows Ross. Everyone loves Ross. That's where she was working. So we're hanging out. We're not best friends. Like, this sounds really fucked up, but we were kind of each other's friend, because I would want to do something and I wouldn't do it alone, and she wanted to do something and she didn't have a car. So we kind of like used each other. She would be like, hey Deborah, I want to go to the mall. Hey Deborah, I want to go here. Hey Deborah, I want to do this. And I would be like, hey Jen, I want to do this. Do you want to go with me? And she was always down. Like, she never had nothing else to do. So we kind of like used each other. And I was already being pretty much taken advantage of. And I knew this, and I felt this way for a very long time. And we would go out and do something, and like I would be like, hey, I'm gonna go grab a dinner. Like, do you wanna go with me? It's gonna be me, whoever else I was gonna be with, and Bethany. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. We would get there and she would be like, I think I'm just gonna have a margarita because I'm so hungry, but I don't have money. And I would feel bad. I would feel guilty. Like, she wouldn't make me buy her stuff, but because she was there not wanting to eat and enjoy time with us. You know what I mean? Like, has it ever happened to you?
No, so I'm not.
You're not that type of person.
No, I'd be like, okay, cool. And then I would just eat the most delicious food and just wave it in front of their face.
We are so different when it comes to that. Like, I always want to help other people, and I always want to like give money away to other people, and Josh is so against it. Like, you'll do it.
I'll do it.
If I say it means a lot to me, you
like
definitely
if it's a good friend and it's like a give and take relationship, I'm down. I'm not down for a give relationship where
It was just a give relation. It really was.
That was not it's not me. I'm not. They will fall away because I will annoy the crap out of them.
And I was struggling so much already anyways, like just financially. That was the hardest time of my life financially, just because I was a single mom. I didn't have my own car. I was using Bethany's dad's car. I was like trying to find work that fit around my school schedule, but I also didn't want to work and miss time with Bethany. I always try to have my schedule reflect hers so I could be around and be a mom like as much as I could. That was always my biggest priority over money, was like being a mom. So I'm struggling horribly to even make my rent meet, and I'm struggling horribly to even get gas in the car to go out and do anything, and I'm having a really hard time. And everything I do, this girl just keeps taking. To me, it was messed up. You guys probably have your own opinions of what you think about it, but she would just complain. Whenever she had to spend money, she would complain, and she was like, I just want to save all my money. Like, I just want everyone to just buy me other things. And like, she would talk about how she wanted to go on a date because she wanted to try a new restaurant, and she was like, yeah, but I don't want to go there by myself. I want to go there as a date so I don't have to pay for it. And like, she would giggle about it and do whatever, which like annoyed the shit out of me. She was treating me like I was one of her dates, and I had to like pay for all of her stuff, you know? And it was so stressful, you guys. It was so stressful, and I started hating it more and more. So that's kind of where I was, okay? That's like the backstory. It was hella long, but that's like the backstory of what was going on. So my daughter is in baseball, and the baseball park is, I don't know, like 3 blocks away from her house. Very close, very, very close to her house. And I told her, hey, I'm going to Bethany's game. Do you want to go? What's going on? Blah, blah, whatever. She was like, yeah, sure. Pick me up on your way by. And I had just started Were we dating officially? Were we seeing each other?
We were dating off and on, I guess, at that point. It was in the summer, though.
It was.
It was in the summer, so you had just graduated Paul Mitchell, I think. And I think Bethany and Clayton had they met?
I don't know.
Anyways, that's not the main part of the story.
We were friends, and I don't even know if we were messing around by this point.
I'm pretty sure we had at this point, because I was your first call when you had a tire problem.
You were always my first call. That's right. After the day I met you, you were always the first man to go. Our relationship had just started. Whether it was friendship or girlfriend-boyfriend, I don't know. Because like we had just barely met each other. Everything was just fresh. And I had already called you once or twice with issues with the tire. And I think, like maybe I'm wrong, but I think you thought I was messing up my tire to talk to you.
I never thought that because I saw your actual tire and I had to fix it. So, like the way that you had punctures in your tires, you couldn't do it intentionally.
Okay, good, because I was getting worried. Because I had a whole bunch of problems with those fucking tires, let me tell you. It was real bad. I think God did that on purpose so I would hang out with you more.
Possibly.
So, I called them up, and I was at the ballpark, and I was like, hey, I know you work here, you know, pretty south, and I know you live pretty north, and I'm right smack dab in the middle of your job and your home. Have you made it home yet? Because I'm gonna need some help with my tire. And where were you? Had you even left work yet?
I was already almost home.
Were you?
Yeah.
So you turned around?
I turned around.
Oh my God.
I turned around. I drove to her car. Somehow, even though she'd had like 4 flat tires already in the past 4 months.
Oh my God, it was awful.
She had 2 flat tires at once.
Yes.
She had 2 screws.
I had told him on the phone, I believe that 2 of my tires are flat, but I'm not sure. And he's like, no, there's no way. Like, there's no way that you get 2 flat tires at the same time. And they're on opposite sides. So one was on the driver's side and one was on the passenger side. And he's like, the only way that happens is if you ran over something and it would be like both on the right hand side or both on the left hand side. And I'm like, come look at it, because you don't believe me. Like, just come look at it.
So I hopped in my truck. I drove out there, and she's got 2 completely flat tires and only 1 spare tire.
Yes, because who has 2 spare tires? Like, that's so dumb.
So I put one spare tire on, and the other one had a little bit of air in it, I think, or something. But by the time I put the spare tire on, which is like 2 minutes, I'm a tire guy, it's not that hard, the other tire was completely flat.
Yes.
And her friend, your friend, she had a car with her.
Yeah, but she didn't have it with her. She had it like 3 blocks away.
So she had a similar car with the same bolt pattern and lug nuts. And I was like, hey, can we borrow your spare for like a couple hours? And I will go fix her car real quick at the shop, and then I'll bring your spare back.
And so, he told her specifically, it'll be really easy for me to do tomorrow because I already have to work tomorrow. But if you're uncomfortable with not having the spare tire for the night, which I doubt you would need, but if for any way it makes you uncomfortable, I can just go to the shop while I'm not, supposed to be there, and I can fix her tire and bring it back and have her bring it back to you tonight with no issues. So it would only be like however long it took us to drive from her house to the shop.
15-20 minutes to fix the tire, put it on, and then just bring it back and put it back in the trunk.
So it'd be like an hour.
Maybe without a spare tire for an hour, but the car wasn't supposed to move that night anyways.
Yeah.
So highly unlikely to be needed, to be honest.
Yes.
And
she was acting kind of weird about it.
Very strange. She was like, I don't know how to describe it, but she was like,
oh, I don't think I have a spare tire.
Which I knew she did. Nowadays, that might have been true. But that was an older car, like an 05, 06 car.
Yeah, it was a Toyota Yaris or something like that.
All the cars had spare tires back then. They didn't have the garbage way they make cars now, where they don't give them spare tires to make the chunks bigger. And people will always complain about it at my shop.
Well, duh.
Oh, anyways, so it would have been a big deal. It would have hurt her zero. Cost her absolutely nothing. And would have been a lot to Deborah, so her car would have to be towed. And at this point, so I don't know any of the backstory. Deborah has not complained to me at all about Jennifer, whatever you call her. And she hadn't complained about her, he hadn't talked smack about her, hadn't said anything other than what she just told you on camera. And she hadn't told me that until I heard this on camera for the most part right now as well. So I just thought she was a friend. And like a friend of mine, I would put my car on jack stands and give him my tires to go to the store and come back. Like that's no big deal. I mean, maybe it's simpler because I am a tire guy. But But you've given your friends money. You've given your friends your phone chargers. You've given your friends your shoes when you were going floating the river. Like, we're just not that type of person. And I'm the reason why I haven't complained to her. Like, I do complain to Josh. He's my husband. I do complain to him. But I'm the type of person where if I have a problem with you, I say that shit to your face. Like, I don't talk shit behind your back. Like, I do talk shit. Like, Josh and I will sit there and talk shit about people. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot all about this. Josh and I will sit there and talk shit about people. But for the most part, if I have a beef with you, if I have an issue with you, I'm going to come up and confront you. I'm fine with confrontation. In fact, I'm so good with confrontation that I can't even confront you because I cannot have a relationship with you afterwards. I just tell you exactly how I feel. I tell you how much of a piece of shit you are, how much I fucking hate you, and I hope that you fucking die. And then I'm done with you. There's no going back. There's no... It's like 5.
I know. I just gotta kill this dream. There's no going back. There's no fixing it. Like, I won't complain. I'll keep so much bubbled inside until I burst, and then I will confront you because I want you to know how I feel. And then I'm totally done with you, like, for the rest of my life. So that's why a lot of, if there's a little bitty complaint, I'll tell Josh, like, oh my god, this is so dumb, blah, blah, whatever. But, like, normally, if I have a complaint, it's done and it's taken care of, and I talk to Josh about it 1-2 times tops, and it's done. And then you're done. Like, and that's how I handle my stuff. Is it the best way to handle my stuff? No, probably not, but whatever. Like, shit gets done. To me, it's like really easy, simple, black and white. And then for the next person that you are around in your life, they can deal with you how they want. But she was like, I don't think I have a spare tire. I really don't think my car came with one. Maybe I should ask my mom. My mom knows more about tires than I do. And I was like staring at her and staring at Josh, like, your mom knows more than Josh does at a tire shop? And your mom works at a recess? Like, your mom's the recess lady at an elementary school? Like,
Does she know more? Your dad is a pool guy, but you think your mom and dad are gonna know more about tires than this guy working at America's Tire? Like, what the fuck am I missing? I'm getting heated right now just thinking about it. She tells us she's gonna talk to her mom, she's gonna think about it. And like, she's giving us all these weird excuses. And Josh goes to AM/PM, that's right down the road. And you get like Fix-A-Flat or something and you put air in it. You do something else. And I go up to you and I tell you like, hey, I don't think she's comfortable with letting me borrow her spare. And I tell you, this is when I tell you, this was the first complaint I ever made to you. And I remember you like giving me a weird look. I tell you, she's not really into helping other people. She's kind of really selfish. And I don't think she's comfortable with us asking. And Josh was so confused. Josh was like, she's not even gonna drive her car tonight. Why does she need a spare tire that she's not even gonna be using? Like, a spare tire is for you to drive on. Even, like, I don't even think she would get a flat tire right now. But even if she were to get a flat tire right now, like, she's not going anywhere. She just said she's going home for the night. Like, what do you mean? And I told Josh, like, I think we should just be done with it. Like, just say whatever you can and just don't ask her anymore. I don't know why I just didn't confront her in that moment, but I was so happy with everything in my life was falling into place. Like, I had just met you, everything with you was like absolutely wonderful and perfect. I was working at the daycare and I was getting a ton of money because I was going untaxed. And like, everything was just falling into place exactly how I wanted it to. And I guess I just didn't want the drama of it.
I just let her off the hook. I just said, don't even worry about it. I can see that you, I don't remember how I worded it, but I gave her a no. I said, hey, it's not over her car anyways. You're good, I got her. You can go home, we're good. And I just drove it with the Fix-A-Flat.
He let me drive his brand new truck and I followed him and he went to the store. You went to the store, didn't you?
I don't know how I got in the store either, because I didn't work there.
But you did, right?
Yeah, no, I think for some reason someone was there late. The manager was there. I think I drove to the store. I was just going to take your car home. I was going to give you my truck that day. And I was going to air your tire up in the morning. But I drove by the store and the manager was there for some reason. So I just pulled up and knocked on the door and said, hey, can I fix a tire real quick? And they said, sure. And I fixed it.
Well, I was stuck in the city of her baseball game in my old house. We had Bethany go to her dad's house so she wouldn't have to worry. I told her dad, hey, I have your car tires messed up again. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how I keep getting this bad luck. Every time we had a car problem, we would let him know. And he would just be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I just felt so bad after a while. And I was like, don't worry. I already called Josh. He's going to take care of it. As soon as everything gets back to normal, I'll give your car back. Or by this point, I was probably just using it all the time and he was taking it out of my child support check or something. But I always let him know. Like, even if the money was taken out of my child support check, I always let him know no matter what was going on with the tires. And there always seemed to be an issue going on with the fucking tires anyway. So Josh was so lovely. And he drove my car. Were you scared? Were you worried?
No, I put Fix-A-Flat in and I went to a gas station and just aired it out. Yeah, it's no big deal.
So Josh drove it and fixed it. And the next day, Josh really wanted to talk about why she wouldn't let me borrow a spare tire. And I wanted to talk about it and I was so mad. But like I said earlier, everything in my life was just going so perfectly right that I was like, you know what? She's just really weird about things. She's been like that since the day I met her, and I don't know if we're gonna be friends much longer. And Josh's like, okay, cool. And like 2 or 3 days pass, and I go to her house, and she's like, I hope that you're happy. You put so much drama between me and my mom, and we had a big fight, and she threw a cup at me, and she was so mad at me. And I'm like, I caused you and your mom to fight? What am I possibly causing you and your mom to fight about? Like, what did I do? And she's like, because my mom told me that I should never let anyone borrow my spare, and how dare I? And I'm like, I didn't even borrow your spare. Like, did you tell her that you were too selfish to even let me borrow it? And she was like, your boyfriend over there said that you didn't even need it because it wasn't even the right size. And I was like, no, he said that because I told him, dude, she's hella selfish. She's not even gonna let me borrow her stuff. Like, let's just be done with it and let's take care of it on our own. Like, why do we even need to depend on someone else? And she was like, you guys are so rude. Like, I don't know what's your issue, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's the day, I don't remember correctly, but I think that is the day that I went off on her. Is that the last day I seen her?
That's the last time I ever saw her was that day.
Like 2 days after, huh? And I told you that her and her mom got in a fight, didn't I?
Yeah, you explained that already. You said, yeah, I'm done with her. I didn't know you that well at that point, so I didn't know what that meant. I thought that you would forgive her and move past it at some point. And it's been like 7 years, and Deborah's still mad.
I'm not mad. Like, I'm getting mad today because I'm talking about it and I'm thinking about it. But I'm not mad, and I don't think about her, and I don't hold any grudges or anything. But my life is better, and there's a weight lifted, and there's none of me that ever wants to go back to a relationship like that at all. I gave everything I had. There was times where it was hard for me to put food on the table for Bethany and I, and yet she still wanted any last piece of cheese that I had. So for me, that was enough. That was enough to say, like, you know, you're a pretty shitty person. Really shitty with sharing your spare tire. And the only reason why I even thought about it now to put it as a story time is because it was on my Facebook memories. And it was a few weeks ago when I was still working, and I didn't even have time to make a video. And it was something like, you always find out who your true friends are, even when you try to put it off for so long. I'm done with selfishness. And I think that really after that day I was done with selfishness. Like, do you know me of being around selfish people since then?
No.
Like, not at all, huh? I'm very selfless, and those are the people that I choose to be around. I'm very, like, mean and sarcastic and dry. I don't know.
And a potty mouth.
A very big potty mouth. And all of those other things I don't look for in other people. Like, whether you have a good mouth or a potty mouth, or you're sarcastic and witty or not, it doesn't really matter to me. But the selfishness, I just can't do it. I can't do it. That's my story of saying goodbye to someone that wasn't even a good friend, but they stayed around for too long and give me the spare tire for an hour after I gave them not like a lot of money, but a lot of what I had. You know, does that make sense?
The moral of the story is, if you got an extra spare tire, maybe you should share it just for a few hours. Goodbye.
Yeah, she could still be using me right now if she had it. Now that I actually got successful and I made decent money, she could have got anything she wanted. I would have bought her a car, but she fucked up for not sharing the tire. I'll buy you more than a car.
Deborah, you've been blessed so much more than all the things that you've given her.
That's so true. Anyways, guys, I love you. I hope you enjoyed our first story time. If you're an adult, I hope that you got a little bit drunk. If you're not an adult, I hope you didn't get a little bit drunk. Please don't be drinking unless you're old enough and you're with people that you trust. That's it for us. We love you. See you guys later. Be a good friend. Love you. Bye.